So I'm Kevin Bartlett, I'm one of his nephews. And you don't think about it much as a kid, but as you get older, you realize you're like, this is an amazing collection. And like I said, I've been around the world and I've never seen anything to this level. Even I used to go for conferences out in San Francisco, and they have a steam museum out there, and they have like one or two. And so I don't even know how many are in here. There's like 10. And like I said, and most of them are pretty much functional. So it's just the amount of steam engines that are located in one location, it definitely needs to be preserved.
And watching my dad, it was fun because at his heart, he was a kid at heart. So he would get excited about what he was working on, and just had a positive energy about him as he was working on things, and just being amazed at what he could do. Where he would take something that to most people would look like just junk, and by using his engineering ideas and his different trade skills, would bring it back to life and restore it so that piece of history was restored so people could enjoy it. I really think if we invest in saving the past, that really helps our future. I think it's inspiring to see what others have created. I think it's inspiring too to see a whole period of equipment from the Industrial Revolution. That was a really large part of our state's history and our nation's history. And I just think it can learn from it and bring about new ideas also.
He was always interested in the steam engines and everything, and I guess he just seen it disappearing, people getting rid of it, and he admired it. Well, it was always Daddy's dream, and he was just kind of hampered here with parking and everything, and he always wanted to keep the collection together and where people could see it and enjoy it. And try to remember the stories we can about it so we can pass it on to other people. I have met people up around Lewisburg that remember coming out here, and this one guy runs a junk store now with antiques and just old stuff, and he knew exactly who I was and who Daddy was, and rode out here on the bus, and some of the boys that did work at my farm this spring had been over here and seen the collection. So these kids remember it from when they were little, and there was busloads of them. Yeah, he just down to earth. He'd teach everything he knew. When he come up to the farm, we rebuilt the log cabin barn and things like. He knew how to do everything. He was one of those pulley and levers men. And these big engines back here, still don't know how he did it. They were over here. And he moved them things over here, and I don't know how. They didn't start, they don't run, you had to pull these. He just could figure things out. And people, they just don't learn things like that anymore. It's all push button. It'd be kind of completion of his dream. I don't want to see it divided up and go all over the country. He didn't want to donate it to Smithsonian or anything because he'd seen in magazines where they were selling off stuff that people gave him, and they've had warehouses all over the country full of stuff that nobody gets to see. He wanted it to stay together as its own self, it's his collection.